Welcome, this is your host Dub FFG with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. And today, we're going to start our Fantasy Rising series. And the first player up, Jalen Hurts. In 2021, Jalen Hurts had 26 total touchdowns. 10 of those were rushing, the other were 16 throwing. He had 11 turnovers, 9 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Now for 2022, things look to be a little bit better for Jalen Hurts. Why? He has an upgrade on the offensive side. That is the addition of A.J. Brown. So he has more offensive weapons, which means he's going to throw more, particularly more so in the first half of games. Last year, if you owned Jalen Hurts, you hated him in the first half of games and you loved him in the second half of games. Why? Because he struggled in the first half of most games. And the second half, he picked it up. One, because his team was behind a lot. And 2, he used his legs more in the second half because he needed to make plays. But now that needle's going to flip over a little bit more in the first half because additional weapons plus his legs means he's more dangerous. So they're going to look to push for the NFC East championship. So that means they're going to score earlier and he's going to be more effective in games earlier. So 2022 FFG projections for Jalen Hurts is 35 touchdowns, 25 of those throwing, 10 of those rushing, and still around the same amount of turnovers with 8 interceptions and 3 fumbles. But again, Jalen Hurts is definitely a fantasy star rising. If he's available in your league, pick him up. Welcome, this is your host Dub FFG of the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. How's it going today? Today we're going to continue on with our Fantasy Rising series, and today we're talking about Jeudy. Jeudy in 2021 had no touchdowns. 0. Not a single one. Now, part of it was injury. He missed 7 games. 6 injured and 1 was due to medical related. And in 2022, things should be much better and brighter for Jeudy. Why? A simple position change. That position is quarterback. He now has Russell Wilson, a proven elite quarterback in the NFL. Compared to what he had before, he just hit the lottery. He and the Denver Broncos just hit the lottery. So Jeudy should be able to fulfill his potential that was expected of him coming out of college. Last year, 0 touchdowns. This year, the FFGS projection is he's going to be a double-digit touchdown receiver. And he should get over 1,000 yards or either close to 1,000 yards this year. Jeudy is definitely one you should draft if he's available. Welcome, this is your host Dub FFG with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. And today, we're going to continue on with our Fantasy Rising series. You see, out of the shadows comes a QB with great expectations. His greatest gift, his desire. His great work is yet to be seen. But in comparison to other fantasy quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, you see, they have no excuses. But one name that lurks in the shadows that should also be added to that list of no excuses, that name is Derek Carr. You see, Derek Carr now has an arsenal of weapons. Out of the three quarterbacks named, Carr arguably has the best running back of the three, arguably has the best receiver of the three, and arguably has the best tight end of the three. Again, comparing the three teams, the Dolphins, the Eagles, and the Raiders. Though he and the Raiders are in a tougher division compared to the other two. Derek Carr last season in 2021 had 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 5 fumbles. That's 19 turnovers. That's not something you want from your star player, or any player, but definitely you don't expect that from your star player, 19 turnovers. So in 2022, FFGS projections, with the addition of Devontae Adams, which gives him weapons on top of weapons, we're expecting Derek Carr to have 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That will make him a top 10 fantasy quarterback. You see the great work? The formula is simple. Just win, baby. This is your host, Dub FFG, with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. And today, we're going to continue on with our Fantasy Rising series as we talk about an up-and-coming tight end, and that is Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons. You see, in 2021, Kyle was a rookie, and he ended up with 64 catches, 1,026 yards, and 1 touchdown. So not quite what Kyle wanted it to be, nor the Falcons, because he was a top 10 pick. But again, he was a rookie, and he was a rookie on a bad team, a rebuilding team. And this year, he has a little bit more motivation. That would be to live up to more of the potential that's expected of him coming out of college and being a top 10 pick. But he has a QB effect. Currently, he has a vet, Marcus Mariota, who's designated as a starter, and a rookie, Desmond Ridder. Now, Ridder has the bigger arm of the two and more talented of the two. But currently Mariota is the starter. Now, unless Ridder wins the job outright in training camp, he will probably back up Mariota for the first part of the season. But FFGS projections is that Ridder would have that job around week 4 or 5. And if you know anything about football, that is that tight ends are rookie bailout. Meaning whenever a rookie gets in trouble or he's uncertain of anything on the field, that tight end is his go-to guy. So in 2022, we're expecting Kyle Pitts' numbers, particularly in the touchdown department, in the red zone, to go up. So we're looking at 7 touchdowns and 950 yards. The yardage may come down just a little, again, because of the uncertainty at quarterback compared to last year when he knew who the quarterback was going to be. But currently, we're projecting him to have 7 touchdowns, 950 yards. So Kyle Pitts is definitely a fantasy star rising. So if he's available in those late rounds, pick him up. This is your host, Dub FFG, with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. And today, we're going to continue on with our Fantasy Rising series. And we're talking about a rookie, Jalen Tolbert, 6'3", 195 pounds. Has good speed, but he's faster when he gets to that top end speed. He has a knack for finding the openings, and he tight ropes the sideline. He's the 2021 Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Year, so he's no stranger to success. So Jalen Tolbert is the only rookie that makes this season's Fantasy Rising series. And this is the reason why. For the Dallas Cowboys in 2022, there's no Amari Cooper. He's gone. Michael Gallup, currently injured and still rehabbing from a knee injury from a year ago. So it's going to take him some time to get back. Jalen Tolbert is going to have an opportunity to shine. Even though CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver 1, Tolbert is either going to be listed as wide receiver 2 or 3. This should give him a lot of one-on-one coverage, and he has a knack for getting open. See, he's more like a Cole Beasley that played for the Cowboys years ago, but he's deeper. He runs deeper routes, so he's going to be very valuable on third downs. He's faster than Beasley was, and he's taller. He's built a little bit more, or from stature-wise, like Cedric Wilson was for the Cowboys over the past few years, but he's now with the Dolphins. So, 2022 FFGS projections for Jalen Tolbert. We're looking at 50 catches, 720 yards, and 8 touchdowns. This makes him a good flex option in fantasy leagues. Again, Jalen Tolbert should be the surprise receiver for the Dallas Cowboys this season. If he's available in those late rounds, pick him up. He is a fantasy star rising. Hey, it's football season, and watch your favorite team with Sling TV. No contracts, all streaming. Watch your favorite program starting as low as $35 per month. Yeah, that's right, $35 per month. Click the link in the description and get started enjoying your favorite programs and watching your favorite team with Sling TV. Hey, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. Thank you. This is your host, Dub FFG, with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. How's it going today? Today, we're going to cover the Miami Dolphins, in particular, their star quarterback. He has a stockpile of weapons down in Miami, so in 2022, there are a lot of things that are going to be expected. Let's get into it. Tua Tagovailoa, in 2021, had 19 total touchdowns. 16 of those were passing, and 3 of those were rushing. He had 10 interceptions and 2,653 yards throwing. Again, not too much to write home about, but slight understanding because he was just coming back from an injury. So that was his first year as a full, complete starter. And 2, he was under a lot of pressure. He was often flushed out of the pocket. Again, no excuses, but it's understandable. He still has a winning percentage actually on the field, but we're going to be expecting a lot more and a lot bigger things this season. And also in 2021, he had the 2nd ranked fantasy football defense in PPR league. So he has a lot of backup or a lot of weapons on both sides of the ball that can help him out. And that should help the Dolphins out as well. So Tua Tagovailoa has really no excuses going into this season. He definitely should be able to flourish. So let's look at the weapons that Tua has this season. At running back, he has Chase Edmonds. At wide receiver, he has arguably the top wideout, Tyreek Hill. Then he has Jalen Waddle, who had a nice season last year and is looking to build upon that. Then you add in Cedric Wilson, who came over from the Cowboys, and he was a great addition over there for their 2021 season. Then you add Mike Gesicki. Mike has been very valuable for the Dolphins in the past few years, So Tua has a load of weapons. I mean a load. Chase Edmonds, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, and Mike Gesicki. Tua has it all. He has a similar offense or a similar stockpile of weapons as he did in college at Alabama. So you know how that turned out. And he's looking to build in that same direction. Now keep in mind, two of the receivers, Hill and Waddle, are excellent after catching the ball. They get tons of yardage once they catch the ball. So not only are they deep threats, but a simple screen can turn into a 90-yard play. That's why Tua is so valuable in fantasy this season. Last year, he only had Waddle that was capable of doing that. Now he has Tyreek Hill, both similar speed, both 4.2 guys, both that can take a simple screen and take it 90 yards for a touchdown. All of those numbers are Tua's numbers as well as those individuals. And with Hill and Waddle eating up the bulk of the yardage, the Dolphins should absolutely live in the red zone. They should have a living room set in the red zone, a TV, a coffee table. This offense is going to be hard to stop. So when they're in the red zone, that's where the tight end Gesicki, that's where Cedric Wilson, that's where Chase Edmonds come into play. Again, the Dolphins offense is going to be a high-powered offense. Do not sleep on Tua Tagovailoa. Let everybody else sleep on him. Let everybody else grab the big names that had good seasons or big seasons last year. A lot of that's not going to happen for those quarterbacks this year. Someone like Tua is going to be the quarterback that you want on your fantasy league this season. Grab him as soon as possible. So, in 2022, we're looking for Tua to have around 3,000 yards passing at least, and 33 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Those 33 touchdowns are going to double, or more than double, his total output from last season, particularly from the passing side of things. Again, Tua, big things expected, and we here at FFGS believe that he will deliver. He has all the tools that he needs, and they've added an addition or two to his offensive line to help him out. So Tua Tagovailoa is the fantasy star rising. If he's available, pick him up, because most people are going to ignore him because of the perception that he has, and because, again, most of the national talking heads don't care too much for his play, understandably so. But again, this is fantasy football GOAT strategies. So we do things a little bit different, and we go against the grain. We do things that others dare to do. That's why we're 9-time champions. So Tua Tagovailoa, pick him up. Hey, it's football season, and watch your favorite team with Sling TV. No contracts, all streaming. Watch your favorite program starting as low as $35 per month. Yeah, that's right, $35 per month. Click the link in the description and get started enjoying your favorite programs and watching your favorite team with Sling TV. Hey, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. Thank you.